Hocus Pocus 3 is alive. The Mouth of the South is dead. We'll tell you the most rewatched movies and the most misheard song lyrics. And you too could buy a piece of a defunct airline, but why would you want to? Plus, selfish passengers would rather save their ratty old underwear than the old lady back in row 20. All that and more this week on the Swish Edition.
You're listening to SwishEdition.com.
Hey everybody, it's episode 514. It's Wednesday, May 13th. Cannot believe it's May 13th already. And I'm in a secret undisclosed location somewhere on the East Coast. Can you guess where I am, Robbie?
Does it have a really fun amusement park? A theme park?
It does, right next door. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm in Williamsburg, Virginia, and sitting in my dad's office. How
Busch
fun is
Gardens. I love
that?
Busch
Gardens,
Gardens.
right? Hey, my first job, Robbie. It was my very first job.
I remember you telling me that. Wasn't it like which country was it in?
England.
Oh.
Yeah, and guess what? It was also the first job I got fired from.
Gotta hear that story.
They
Some
called
snowy
it
night in front of the fire.
They called it embezzlement, but no, that's not what it was. I don't even remember what happened, but I was a dumb 16-year-old and it was my first job. It's been expunged from my record, so
When I
nobody
was
needs
a
to worry
kid
about
going there with my family all the time, we went a lot. You probably
Yeah.
were there at the same time I was.
Probably so. You're right. Well, I don't know if it's open yet. I guess it would be open.
I think it is. Yeah, it's open. It opens at
definitely
spring
would
break.
be open.
Yeah.
I'm not going. I won't be going. Anyway, we're going to do a short and sweet episode this week. Is that okay?
Well, I'm neither short nor sweet, Scott, but I'll try.
Good for you. Hey, I want to start with a couple aviation stories. I know we've been doing a lot of them lately, but I think this one is just too bizarre not to talk about. And I'm sure you guys heard this news. But this happened, I think it was late Friday night, last Friday night in Denver, Colorado. Frontier Airlines A321 was headed from Denver to LA. Halfway down the runway on their way to take off, and a man, I think it was a man, I don't know if they know it was a man, a person ran across the runway and was immediately sucked into the engine. As you can imagine, that person, whoever it was killed instantly. You don't get sucked into a jet engine and come out of it alive.
That had to have been like a suicide mission. There's no other reason for that.
I'm thinking so too. You know, they found the video of someone climbing over the perimeter fence at the airport. They definitely did this on purpose. So it was like suicide by commercial jet, which is a very expensive way to go, Robbie. I looked it up. To replace one of those engines on an airplane can cost anywhere between 14 and 20 million dollars.
Well, insurance should cover that.
Well, I'm sure. It's miraculous. The pilots were going about 150 miles an hour when this happened, and they were able to spool down the engines and stop before they got to the end of the runway. But the engine caught on fire. But here's the story. Here's the real story, and it's something we've talked about on the show before. People, despite the fact that the engine was on fire, the plane is full of fuel on its way for a trip, from Denver to LA.
It could blow at any moment.
It could blow at any moment. The cabin is filling with smoke. And what did 50% of the passengers on board stop to do before they got off the plane? They opened those overhead bins. They got their stuff from under the seat in front of them. And they wasted time getting their friggin' underwear and t-shirts.
They failed. They failed. You are not supposed to grab anything. And they stress that every time you start a flight. They say, you don't grab anything, just get off the plane. I saw the video. People were opening the bins. Like, you're opening the bin.
I know. And the flight attendants are screaming at them the whole time, saying, no, take nothing, get off the plane. The FAA requires these to evacuate an airplane with only half the exits open because sometimes there's fire on one side. You got to go out the other. 90 seconds. You can't do it in 90 seconds if everyone's stopping to get their luggage.
No, I'd be like, "Boo, bitch, get out the way, get out the way."
So
But
what I'm
like,
saying, the FAA really needs to step up their game, and the airlines need to step up their game and start prosecuting these people for doing this. Put them on the no-fly list and say, "Hey, listen, you stopped. You could have killed grandma back there in row 15 by stopping to get your stupid bag of crap. You're never flying on this airline again." How about that?
it was Frontier, so no big loss there.
No big loss.
There was
Have you
I
ever
saw
flown on them?
no, I'm not a snob at all, but I've never flown on one, and I don't anticipate doing it.
Yeah, I've never had a reason to.
I saw somebody on that flight. There was a person that was clearly wearing like a wig or some kind of fake hair. You know, they're never going to be able to get the smell of that burn smell out of that wig. You might as well just throw that thing away.
I didn't think about that, but what I did think about is the people that got off the airplane, Robbie, and stopped and took pictures of the engine that the person was sucked into.
See, we have turned into a civilization of people that do that. Like
What?
voyeurs, just people got to record every damn thing. It's crazy.
Yeah, it is really crazy.
I mean, first thing in my mind is I want to get off the plane. In my head, I'm thinking it's going to blow any minute. It's going to blow any minute. Get off, get off, get off.
Yeah. I mean, I've never been in that position to have to evacuate an airplane, but if I ever was, yeah, I'd want
Especially
to.
when you're taxiing to take off. Like,
Yes.
you'd think maybe when you're landing, something might go wrong, but never taking off. I mean, although majority of accidents do happen taking off. So what am I? I'm just some bitch.
Yeah, I think the most dangerous part of the flight is the takeoff, not the landing.
Weird.
It is weird.
Well, I hope I
Yeah.
never have to experience this.
Me too. And I love it that the lovely transportation secretary Sean Duffy, who used to be on The Real World on
Yeah, he
MTV,
was on
mind you.
Railroad. I think it was Boston. I think.
Yeah. The great quote from him was, "No one should ever trespass onto an airport." Thank you, Sean Duffy.
And you know who he's married to, right? He's married to Rachel Campos, who was in
Right.
Real World San Francisco.
Right.
So they're just having a big ol' like,
With Pedro.
yeah,
Yeah. Well, yeah. So there's a whole nother story there about their cross country reality show that they're doing, but we don't need to talk about that.
yeah, no.
Before we go on to other more pop culture stuff, I want to talk about one other aviation story. And this is kind of insane. You've heard about this before. People who have decided to start these crowdfunding campaigns online to do something that they otherwise probably couldn't do with their own money. So this guy decided he wanted to try to save Spirit Airlines. As you know, Spirit went belly up. What was it? A weekend, 2 weeks ago? I guess it was a week ago Saturday. They just ceased operations and stranded their passengers all over the country, stranded their crews all over the country, and left their planes. We had 7 of them at the Las Vegas airport. I know they're starting to fly them out now, but they just stopped. And so this guy decided, hey, I'm a TikTok creator. I've got a lot of followers. His name is Hunter Peterson. And he said, I'm going to purchase Spirit with y'all's help. If you'll donate a commitment, if you'll sign up and commit to a certain amount of money, perhaps we can raise enough money to buy Spirit back out of bankruptcy, I guess. So here's the crazy part. That sounds crazy by itself, right? But what happened was within a week, he had over, what was it? I'm trying to see here, 337 million. I mean, that alone is just insane. So the average pledge was $907. So I did the math to figure out how many people that is. That's over 1,000 people who pledged over $907.
I'm
Who
not
are these
touching that.
people? Who are
No.
these people? Well,
Well,
one, it's not even enough money because Spirit was $8.18 billion in debt. That's one reason it didn't work. Plus, ultra low cost airlines, their model just is not a successful one, as we've seen a lot in the past. They just couldn't make it work.
So I have a couple of takeaways from this. And the first one is
Yeah.
that I noticed when you were speaking, you've been in Virginia for 5 days and you're already saying y'all. I'm also
I
from
never
Virginia,
stopped.
everybody. And I know that y'all is like a big phrase that we say out that way. And I say it still, but I never heard you say it until just now. But I just
That's
wanted to bring that up. I thought it was
crazy.
funny. The second thing is, where the hell was this guy when Blockbuster was going bankrupt? We could have used him. He
I
wasn't even
love the
born yet, I'm
Blockbuster
sure.
story, man. I mean, they're so dumb, right? But you know the Blockbuster story, how Netflix went and they
Offered
tried
to
to sell
sell
themselves
it
to
to them.
Blockbuster,
Well,
and
hindsight is
Blockbuster's
2020,
like,
man.
"No, we got it," right? And now Blockbuster, and now they're gone, and Netflix is the largest media company in the world.
But it's not even my favorite. Netflix
Who's
is not my
laughing now?
favorite. So I thought Netflix was going to go
No, definitely
under
not. But you know
5
what?
years ago.
They do create a lot of good stuff, though. I mean, I love Wednesday. We've talked about that on the show before, right?
I think so. I don't love it. I don't like the
Yeah, I mean,
casting
Netflix
at all.
is the one that really
Mhm.
love it. Netflix came up with House of Cards. They were pretty much the first one to start the streaming series.
Yeah, well, they kind of ruined it.
Yeah,
Streaming is
well,
taken
Kevin
on
Space,
is gone off and went off the deep end. I can't even concentrate on anything. There's too much streaming in my life.
you're overwhelmed with all the
I
good
am.
quality
I
stuff.
am
Is that what you're
overwhelmed with
saying?
streaming. Yeah. And sometimes I just give up and just like, I can't. I'm just going to watch an old show that I know. It's hard to even,
A show that you've watched a million times.
well, and like back when you used to watch shows week after week and you had to wait, you remembered it more, you retained it more, it meant something more. Now you can binge something in one day. I forget about them after like a year or so.
Yeah,
I'm like, what was that show called again? The one
yeah,
about
it's
astral
gone.
projection or whatever. Like, I remember bits and pieces, but I don't remember the title. I don't know anybody in it. And it happens more often. I think it's because you're only watching it for a short time. And
Yeah.
or maybe I'm
No, I
drinking
think
too
you're right.
much in my,
Well, it could be a combination of all of those things. It's true. But no, I think I definitely agree with you. We're watching this stuff in such small windows of time that you forget. There is a show that we watched 2 years ago that we watched in one weekend, and it's kind of just a little blip.
yeah,
Yeah,
blip.
I get it. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's weird, but I don't know.
I like to space them out. I'll space them out.
So I subscribe to this magazine. I'm going to ask you about this magazine. Do you know about Remind?
I have
So
seen it. It's fun. It's super fun.
it is fun. And, I subscribe to it in the mail. I get it in the mail once a month. And I feel like a senior citizen, but I don't care. There's fun articles about nostalgia. They focus on different decades. They have all kinds of games in there, like, little fun facts about 60s. How much was a dollar worth? And how much was a carton of eggs in 1958? But, fun stuff like that. But they have a fun article out right now. And it's misheard song lyrics from the, and I know every single one of you
Goodness.
is guilty of mishearing a lyric, especially in the 90s, which probably a big offender for this kind of thing. I don't know if it's the top decade for it, but so for instance, one of the ones they talk about is REM's Losing My Religion. And
Right?
what people have said they've heard is, I'm going to sing a little bit. So I'm sorry, everybody. I'm going to sing these. I did take chorus in 5th and 6th grade. But it's been a while. So this one
Good.
is what people have heard was, let's pee in the corner, when it's really, that's me in the corner. I actually have a joke that I sometimes I like to make parody lyrics of songs, and they're stupid or whatever. I don't care. I always like to sing this one as, that's me in the spotlight, losing my erection. I don't know. I think that's
I
funny.
like that.
But
I like that.
then
That's
Alanis
funny.
Morissette has the best one. The best one. And it's from You Ought to Know, her breakout hit. And the lyric that people mishear is, of the cross-eyed bear that you gave me. When the actual lyric is, of the cross-eyed bear that you gave to me. So it's very similar, but people are hearing cross-eyed bear, like, you got a bear that's cross-eyed. like a stuffed bear, but it's the cross I bear, like, like the figurative speech. But I think cross-eyed bear
Cross-eyed
is way
bear,
better.
right?
It's
Yeah.
funny as shit. But I never ever misheard that lyric. I never thought it was a cross-eyed bear.
I think it makes it a lot more fun. It's a lot more
But
fun
now
for
I
sure.
always think of that whenever I hear that song. It's like another one is Nirvana, Smells Like Teen Spirit, which I mean, nobody can hear any of those lyrics anyway, so whatever. Like people have heard I don't even remember this part of the song. It's just all a bunch of marbles in your mouth. And I forgot to watch
Yeah.
my face is what people have heard, but it's actually I forget just what I taste. But if people hear I forget to wash my face, I never heard that either because I never knew what the fuck he was saying.
All right, so when we were getting ready for this section, I Googled the words for Smells Like Teen Spirit, and I'm reading the words, and Robbie, I literally thought I was reading them for the first time. I'm like, okay, I have heard this song 1,000 times, maybe 1,001 times since I was in college in the 90s, and I did not know that these were the words to the song. Like, did you know at one point he says, a mulatto, an albino, a mosquito, my libido?
Yes, I did because I when I did what you just did, I did this a while ago and I looked him up and I was like, I think it might have been on a TV show. Maybe VH1 had something about it.
Yeah.
Maybe it was the pop-up video. Remember pop-up video?
Oh, pop-up
I think that might have been when I
video!
learned it. Yeah.
That was
But
such a fun show.
I mean, this was grunge. You never could understand what any of the people singing grunge were singing. You just were like in the vibe, in the beat, but like you didn't know what the hell they were saying.
I know, but here's the funny part is I remember singing this song along with him all the time. What
But
was I singing if I didn't know the lyrics?
I think I was just saying gobbledygook. I don't know. I was like, I was
Right.
in middle school when this song came out. So what did
Right.
I know? I barely, but my favorite misheard lyric, well, one of my favorites is the one from Elton John's Tiny
Right.
Dancer, which is people hear, hold me closer, Tony Danza. But it's really Hold Me Closer, Tiny Dancer, which obviously
Of
that's the name of
course.
the song. But I think
Yeah.
people say that line because it sounds funny. I don't think they actually misheard that. But
I agree with you with that one, for sure.
so some of mine, so these are ones that were in the article, but some of mine that weren't in the article is, and this is my favorite misheard lyric just because it's personal to me, because I literally thought this was the line forever. So Starships, Nothing's Gonna Stop Us Now, the theme
One of
song
my
from
favorites.
Mannequin,
One of my
right?
yes.
And Grace Slick has a part, and she says it a couple of times in the song. She goes, "Let them say we're crazy. What do they know?" But I've always heard it as MC went crazy, like the master of ceremonies, the MC. I always thought it was MC went crazy. And friends of mine from back in the day when we listened to this together, we all thought that that's what she was saying.
So what was she saying?
Let them say we're crazy. Let them say we're
Them,
crazy.
let them say we're crazy.
I don't care
What do you
about
think about
that.
that?
Yeah.
Something like that.
What did you think it was?
I don't know. Well, now that I've heard both of those things, I have no idea. I have no
Well,
idea.
see, and if
But
you watch that music video, Scott, you're watching
yeah,
Grace Slick, and I think it's Marty Ballin is the other guy. It looks like the math teacher and the guidance counselor got together and said, "Let's make a band." Like your high school guidance counselor and math teacher. That's what they look like
right.
in the video. I love them to death,
So
but
funny.
they look like straight up adults, like
That is such, but
working a 9 to 5.
yeah, that is such a great song, though.
It's one of my
I love
all-time
them
favorites.
so much.
I don't even want to call it a guilty pleasure because I don't have any guilt about that song or the video.
No
It's
guilt.
pure gold to me. And I'm
He
still
has
gonna
no
say
guilt.
I'm still gonna say that MC went crazy.
I think you should. I think you should.
I think the
Absolutely.
title of this episode should be called MC Went Crazy.
MC went crazy. The MC went crazy, or just MC went
MC went
crazy?
crazy. Just MC. No, just MC went crazy. I don't care about that.
Did you have
Another
another
one I
one?
had was Madonna related, of course, and it was from
Of course.
Express Yourself. So the line is, if your time isn't right, then move on. Literally, when I was a kid listening to this, I thought she was saying, if your tongue isn't right, then move on. like you were a bad kisser. It sounds ridiculous as an adult, but when I was a kid, I
Yeah.
thought it totally made all the sense, especially coming from someone like Madonna, who was like very sexual.
Yeah.
And when I
Well,
found
you were
out that it
dumb.
wasn't,
You were a dumb little kid.
yeah, I was dumb.
No, you weren't.
The other one, and everyone, this is a big famous one, is Creedence Clearwater Revival, Bad Moon Rising. I guess you can guess what this one is. You probably have said it yourself. The bad moon is rising. It's like, I see a bad moon. Um, there's a bad moon on the rise, but it sounds like there's a bathroom on the right. Did you
Yeah.
ever hear? Did you
I
ever
have
hear
heard
that?
that before. I've heard that before, but I've never heard that before, if you know what I mean. I mean,
Yeah.
I've heard that people thought that. I never heard it when I was listening.
Well, listen to it again. You can totally hear it.
Okay. Well, there's also the power of suggestion that says that you can hear things once you've been told that's what it is, too, right?
That is true.
Have you heard that?
Yes. And yeah. So I'll let you
You got
take
more?
this. No, I'm done. I'm done. I think
Okay.
I've exhausted it. Do you have any that you'd like to
Not that I
contribute?
can think of. And I've been super, super busy this week, so I haven't done a lot of research on different things, but no. And I was trying to think of, is there ones? And yes, if you ask Kristen, if you ask Dale Blades, if you ask most people, they'll tell you that I am the absolute worst person to remember lyrics of songs. I think I know all the lyrics to two songs, Happy Birthday and Vogue.
You don't know all the words to Baby Got Back by Sir Mix-a-Lot?
Absolutely not. I
What?
don't
You
know the
should see the
words.
video of me doing that at karaoke.
Oh, I'm
I will
sure
send
you've
you the
got it down
video.
pat. You
I
got it down
do.
pat?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I have a blockage when it comes to song lyrics. I just can't get them. But I can do Vogue and I can do the whole Greta Garbo, Anne Monroe, Dietrich
Yeah,
Anna
that's really
DiMaggio. I can do all
easy.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
I gotta,
there's a drag queen. Is it Jackie Beat? Jackie Beat. You know who that is, right?
I know her well. She's been on this show before.
But yeah, she's great. I love Jackie Beat and I love Sherry Vine. They're friends, or
Of
at least
course.
the last time that I heard they were. And but you know drag queens, but they both do really fun song parodies.
Absolutely.
So I think maybe in a future show we should talk about our favorite song parodies. Like they changed the lyrics, like instead of Mamma Mia by ABBA, it's called Gonorrhea.
Yeah, and
Like that's funny.
instead of Hallelujah, it's How I Blew Ya. Yeah.
Yes, like both of those queens have great song parodies. They're just perfect. And I saw them both live in DC and New York City for Sherry do these great covers of parody lyrics. Just really funny. But since you don't have any of your bad lyrics to offer, I just thought I'd throw in that little anecdote and hoping maybe Jackie Beat or Sherry Vine is listening and they know that I think of them and love them.
Isn't that nice? Well, Sherry was just here in Vegas like about 6 or 7 weeks ago, and we went. It was really fun. It was her very first show here in Vegas, so that was kind of fun.
Where was she performing?
At a place called the Gypsy.
Fun. I would love to
Yeah.
see her again. When I was working as a concierge at the W Hotel in DC, there would be a lot of gigs that would go to Cobalt. Mark Rutstein put her up at the W where I was working. And
Great.
she came to check in, and I was like, "Oh, I'm such a fan. I'm coming to the show tonight. I'm giving you like an upgraded room and, all this stuff."
Wow.
And she gave me her personal phone number on like her the hotel key card little piece of paper thing.
Yeah, yeah.
I still have it. I still kept it.
Well, I also have her phone number on mine. She's been a guest on our show a lot, and she's a good friend of ours. And she just flew to Europe a couple days ago. She's doing a whole European tour for the next 6 weeks. So
Wow. Well, I hope she has
yeah,
a very successful run out there. They have
yeah,
good taste. I'm sure they love her.
yeah. I'm so excited for her. She stays busy for sure.
Yeah, because she's constantly coming up with current parodies. She stays very
Yes,
current.
constantly
Very current.
inventing new stuff. Yeah,
Yes.
something I'm not good at. I just keep going back to the old shit. Yeah.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Ain't nothing
Speaking of
wrong
old
with that.
shit,
Yeah, speaking of the
speaking,
old shit, y'all, what is the most rewatched movie of all time? Could it be Encino Man? Could it be Look Who's Talking To? No. But we'll tell you the real thing. We'll tell you the real one and our favorites right after this.
This, my friends, is the Swish Edition. And now for something completely different.
So, what is the most rewatched movie of all time? It's very hard to say because
Encino Man.
I mean, it's all very subjective. Nobody's recording this. You're getting like votes from people. It's very scientific, not. So there is a list that was like some surveys from random people, and they compiled this list. I don't even really know who it is, but it doesn't even matter because I agree with the list for the most part. And it's a list of the top
There you go.
50 most rewatched movies in the United States. So there's no foreign films on here, but I'm not going to go through all 50, so you don't have to worry about that. But I will just go over the top 5 that they have here. And I don't know if they're in like a ranked order or what, but number 1 makes total sense. It's The Wizard of Oz. When I was a kid, I saw it like a million times. I still watch it like maybe like once every couple of years now.
Yeah, absolutely.
Number 2 is A Christmas Story. And that makes sense because everybody watches it at least twice every freaking Christmas. It's kind of hard to avoid it at
I think
Christmas
so.
time. I mean, I love it. There's some people that have like
and if you
TBS.
yeah.
Oh, TNT, they show it like 24
if
hours.
you watch TBS, they show it like 24 hours from all day on Christmas Day. Yeah.
I think that's fun. It's like a tradition we have as Americans, that everyone can agree on. I mean, there are some people out there that say that they're getting burnt out by it, but I don't care. I'll watch it every year. The third one is Star Wars Episode 4, which is A New Hope, which is the very first in the, in the time, not in the timeline, but it's the first one that ever came out that we know of.
The first one we ever saw, right?
Right. And I mean, Star Wars fans there's tons of Star Wars fans that this makes total sense. But I think I'm going to go through the rest of the top 5, but I was wondering if Empire Strikes Back is on here just because that's the better of the 3 generally. I mean, my favorite is Return of the Jedi, but most people seem to think Empire Strikes Back is. But you know what? Is it the most rewatchable? These movies don't have to be like the greatest movies of all time. This is the most rewatched movies. So I honestly think that Return of the Jedi is way more rewatchable than A New Hope, but that's just me. I don't want to get any death threats in the mail, but.
Well, I mean, the third one has Ewoks in it, and I didn't really like the Ewok.
I don't understand the Ewok hate, man. I love the Ewoks. One of the Ewoks was Warwick Davis.
Doesn't matter. They were just annoying little. I just found that whole thing annoying. Yeah.
It was just I like it because of the whole Jabba the Hutt thing. That's my favorite sequence in all those movies.
The Jabba the Hutt was absolutely great scene. Yeah.
And the Sarnak thing,
I put the Ewoks right up there with Jar Jar Binks. Just
what?
Annoying. Yes, annoying.
No, Jar Jar was totally like way worse than the Ewoks.
Well, I agree, but they're second to that. So
number 4. No more Ewok hate. No more Ewok hate on my watch.
He's moving on because he's like, okay.
You know what? I'm going to say one more thing about the Ewoks. They had 2 spin-off movies. 2. Do you remember those?
Yeah.
So they were clearly popular enough to have 2 Ewok Adventure and then like I can't remember the other title, but I watched both of them as a kid and loved them.
I know the other one was a very Ewoks Christmas.
No, it was not. Don't listen to that. So number 4 is, I think this is on the list also because of Christmas. It's A Wonderful Life, which is a great film that I love the film. I didn't always love it because I thought it was a little overrated. I do not think that at all anymore. But as a kid,
even schmaltzy.
But that was like his melodrama, like.
Yeah.
When I was a kid, I didn't like it because everyone made such a fuss about it. And so I was always I was one of those people that was immediately annoyed by all the fuss it got. But when I actually sat down and watched the damn thing, I was like, this movie is really good. But would I watch it would I watch it every year? Maybe, although I did not watch it last year. I have a ton of Christmas movies that I watch nowadays, and it's hard to fit them all in.
It is hard
But
to
I
fit them
try to
all in.
watch it once a year at least. But there are movies that I watch multiple times a year because I'm a big movie fan. I'm what do you call it, cinephile, and I will only watch It's a Wonderful Life at Christmas time. I just would never watch it outside of Christmas. But I like that it's on the list. Okay, number 5 is The Princess Bride, one of Rob Reiner's films.
Yeah.
Which my favorite Rob Reiner film is Stand By Me,
It's
and
very
I
good.
also
You've talked about
yeah,
that on the show before.
so I like that one. That's my favorite of his, and he also does Misery, which I love. Princess Bride is probably my 3rd favorite of his, but when I was a kid, I watched the hell out of this movie, but as an adult, I don't watch it as often.
Do you want to hear something shocking?
You don't like that movie, do you?
I can't say that.
Well, you've never seen
Do you
it.
know? I've never seen it.
How is that possible?
I know that Robin Wright's in it. I know some lines from it.
Like, have fun storming the castle.
I know some iconic stuff like that, but no, I've never sat down and watched the movie.
Well, okay, so it's super fun, but honestly, I do not know what it's going to be like to watch the movie for the very first time as a person that's older.
Okay.
You might be like, I don't know how it holds up, but you know what? I would love for you to watch it and tell me what you think of it with brand new eyes all these years
Yeah.
later.
But isn't Carrie always also in it?
He is.
Uh, oh, and he was
He
really
plays
young then,
Wesley.
right?
He plays Wesley.
Yeah.
You know, speaking of Robin Wright Penn, when I worked at the W in DC, second time I
Yeah.
mentioned this
Right.
today, but it's relevant. She was there once in the lobby, and she came up to me and she asked me an important question. You know what
Where's
she
the
said to me?
bathroom?
She said,
No.
"Where's the bathroom?" And yeah, I told her where the bathroom was. So I got to tell Princess Buttercup where the bathroom
Yeah,
was at the W Hotel. She
that's
looked
pretty
like a
cool.
normal woman. Yeah,
Well, she is a normal woman. Was she Robin Wright Penn at the time?
I can't remember. This would have been like 2013 or 2014, one of those
And
years.
do you find it really weird that Robin Wright and Madonna were both married to the same man?
I do actually.
Weird. Weird.
There's a lot of questions I would love to ask Sean Penn, but that's
I
for
would too.
another.
Yeah, how come he didn't go to the Golden Globes this past year? And how
He
come
was actually in Ukraine, like doing some
he was, that's right.
what do you call that? Humanitarian work.
Also, how come he smokes 4 pack of cigarettes a day?
His face certainly looks like he does.
And how bad of an employee were you that the W in Washington D.C. no longer exists?
Well, they couldn't hang with me gone. They were like, "Damn, Robbie's not here. We can't even function anymore. We're just gonna close this shit down." But it's now
It's really
operating
funny.
under
It's really
the
funny.
Hotel Washington
Okay,
name is
before
back.
you
It's like
before you
independent.
tell us what your yeah, no, I understand that. And it was also the Washington Hotel for years and years and years. That was a
Yeah.
very
So
iconic
it didn't
hotel in
disband.
DC.
It's just not called the W anymore.
It's just not the W anymore. But we have a brand new W here in Vegas, so it's kind of even. It's all evened out now. Hey,
Fun.
listen. Should I tell you my top 5 from the top 50?
I'm dying to know what your top 5 on this list are.
I know. I'm sure you'll hate them all. My first is one of my favorite movies of all time. Actually, the first 2 on my list are my 2 favorite movies of all time. Back to the Future, the original one, and my number 2 is Clueless.
I
How can
love
you not love
Clueless.
Clueless?
I
And
love Clueless.
how can you not watch it every time it comes on, just like Back to the Future?
Now, okay, so Back to the Future is perfectly fine, but it's just not one of my favorites. It's just not. Like, it's not even in my top 100 films of all time. But
Well, then we can't be friends
I'm not
anymore.
trying to shit on that movie because it's enjoyable. It's just not something that I love. But I do love Clueless. And I do love the next three on your list.
I have. All right, I'll talk about them. But at first, I want to tell you that I'm gonna yawn, y'all. I'm gonna yawn, y'all, because it is 10 o'clock, 10:45 at night here.
Well,
But
thank
no,
God there's not
Clueless. I love it
smell-o-vision
so
on this
much.
thing.
Oh, I've been drinking my my Sun Cruiser vodka seltzer.
Okay.
No, I have on our refrigerator back in Vegas at our house, Dale and I have Clueless magnets all over the front of the refrigerator.
Well, this last year, I bought the brand new K special edition Blu-ray of Clueless. It comes in a fun, glittery cover, like a big box cover. And I went down to my basement that
That's
I have a
fun.
theater set up, and I watched it all by myself and pretended I was 13 years old all over again. And I've broken my new
If you were
purple
13,
clogs.
if you were, you got to be careful with those clogs on the basement stairs. But if you were 13 when it came out, then I was like 24 or 25, so that's kind of sad. Anyway, let me tell you about my number 3, 4, and
Yeah,
5.
I
Number
was
3 and
13.
4, they're December movies. National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, which
Love it.
is my all-time favorite Christmas movie. I watch it at least 4 or 5 times every season. And then Home Alone. Home Alone is on in our house
I love Home
constantly during the
Alone.
holidays. I love Home Alone. I also love Home Alone 2, Lost in New York. They're
Yes, me
both,
too.
yeah, they're both classics in my book.
I don't know
And
about
then,
any of the other ones in the series. I just know 1 and 2, and that's all I need to know.
oh, there's nothing else to talk about. True, because Macaulay Culkin's not in the rest of them, and Catherine O'Hara's not in the rest of them. So
Nope.
yeah, forget that. And then number 5, this was hard, Robbie. This was actually hard to pick 5 out of the
That's what she
50.
said.
But I picked Raiders of the Lost Ark because I
Yes,
think,
I
yeah,
love Raiders of the Lost Ark. As you
it's a,
know, I'm a huge Indiana Jones fan.
I know you are. Me too.
And
And this
Raiders
was,
is like top 5 of all time. I think it's like my number 2 favorite movie of all time.
well, that's exciting to know. Yeah. All right. So mine are pretty obvious. Why don't you tell me yours?
So we do have a couple of same ones on the list. I have chose Christmas Vacation, like you said, classic Christmas film. I still laugh at all the jokes that I've heard 1,000 times because
Yeah.
they're just a nostalgic, fun time. And Aunt Bethany gets me every damn time. And you know, Aunt Bethany, the actress, she was the voice of Betty Boop. Did you know
Knew
that?
that. I did know that. Yeah.
And can we talk about Beverly D'Angelo's cleavage in that movie? During Christmas Eve dinner, she's wearing like a top that has like a little piece cut out right here with some lace, and it's just enough. Like, I love her for that. I love her for that. It's a total vibe.
Yeah.
It's just interesting that she would choose that for like a family gathering. But like I said, I love it and I love her for it. But
I
Ellen
love her. I love her anyway. Yeah.
and Home Alone is my number 2. I love Home Alone, like you said, part 1 and 2. I love them. I can watch it every year. I can even watch that when it's not Christmas.
Can watch it tonight.
I could watch it right now. Actually, I am watching it right now. No, I'm just kidding. My number 3 is also my number 1 favorite movie of all time. It's Jaws. That's on the list. I can never get enough of Jaws.
Yes.
Been
We knew
obsessed with
he
Jaws
was
since I
a
was like,
huge Jaws fan.
that's the first movie I remember watching was Jaws. As like a 5-year-old.
Wow.
But
Cool.
and number 4 is Raiders of the Lost Ark. I also love Temple of Doom, Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom, which I know that Raiders is the better movie, but
Right.
I find myself watching Temple of Doom more. Just rewatchability for me. But I think I'm just kind of obsessed with Kate Capshaw, but that's another story. Number 5.
Well, which one opened her song?
That's Temple of Doom, where she's singing Anything Goes
Temple of
in
Doom.
the sequin gown and in Mandarin Chinese. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
epic. It's like my favorite movie scene ever.
It is.
And I think it made me gay
It's so
because
good.
I watched that for the first time when I was like 7 years old. And I think that scene made me gay.
That's what did it?
Yeah. So I'm going to blame Steven Spielberg.
No.
on my gayness, and Kate Capshaw on all her fabulousness. She doesn't even have to work anymore. She's married to like one of the richest men in the world. She's living my dream.
She is. Yeah,
Marry
she doesn't have to do a damn thing.
no, you star in like a couple of big movies, and then you marry a rich guy, and you can just do philanthropy work. That's a garble. The rest of your life and look fabulous and show up to the Oscars every damn year. That's one of the things I look for when I watch the Oscars every year. Remember we watched the Oscars at your house that one time? And I was like, I gotta
Huh?
find Kate
Yeah, it was like,
Capshaw
what,
sitting
3
next
years
to
ago?
Steven Spielberg in the audience. That's the thing I always scan for. And sometimes she's not there and sometimes she is. But if you follow me on
So
Facebook,
funny.
if I see her there, I take a picture of the TV screen and I post it. I found her. But my number 5 is The
Found her.
Goonies.
Where's Waldo?
Where's Waldo? Where's Kate Capshaw? Number 5 is
Where's
The
Kate?
Goonies. So rewatchable. I love The Goonies. Yeah, so that's my list out of all of these. So I wonder,
I was just going to say, I didn't know if you knew that we have Goonies slot machines here in Vegas.
are they? Yes, that's right. You did say that they were there, and I looked for one the last time I was there and couldn't find it.
There's several different versions. Some of them are more fun than others. And they may be phased out by now, but I haven't seen one recently, but they have had them and they were super, super fun, I thought.
All this movie talk has led me
Yeah.
into this next story. So we're done with the rewatchable movies, but this movie is very rewatchable, and it was almost on my list, but it just missed it by a hair. And it's Hocus Pocus. Their deadline reports that Hocus Pocus 3 has been greenlit for a theatrical run, which was not the case for part 2 that came out. Was that a Netflix movie or a Disney
No,
Plus
it came
movie?
straight to Disney Plus. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm gonna be real with everyone. I did not like that sequel at all. So I'm just gonna say it. First movie is classic.
It was a
Love
little
Bette
lame.
Midler. Second movie was
Yeah.
not my jam, and I will probably never watch it again. That's how I feel about it. But this third one, I will definitely be going to the theater to see it when it comes out. And all 3 have been confirmed.
I was just
return.
gonna say that I enjoyed the second one, but you're right, it's not as rewatchable as the first one.
I didn't even enjoy it.
You didn't enjoy it?
No, I didn't. I was like, I watched the first one with friends, and then we watched the second one like the day it premiered, and I was like, no, I'm not into this at all.
Oh, I'm sorry.
But it's fine. I'm looking forward to the third one. Bette Midler's coming back. Sarah Jessica Parker, Kathy Najimy. You know what I want? This is what I want. And I met all the kids from the first movie.
Yeah.
I met, Vanessa Shaw and every kid that was in that movie. I met them. And I talked to Tobias. He played the blonde kid, the bully. And we were chatting. He was super fun. And we were like, you know what the sequel should have been? Was Vanessa Shaw and Omar Katz, the 2 kid leads, get married, have kids of their own, and take them out on Halloween, and then they encounter the Sanderson sisters again. And it's their kids having to deal with it. That was what it should have been, not this other bullshit we got. But we deserved that movie, not the one that they gave us. So we don't know what the hell this one's going to be about, but the first movie was released in 1993, and it was actually a flop when it first came out. First of all, Disney is so dumb. They released this movie in the middle of summer in 1993. I remember because I was cognizant of things. In 93, I was in elementary school or something. And I remember like Hocus Pocus and Bette Midler. And I was like, why are they releasing this movie in summer? Like, no kid wants to see. Back then, we didn't want Halloween shit in the summertime.
Right.
We were like, we wanted a Halloween time where it's supposed to be, but it might have flopped in theaters, but that thing was on TV all the time. And
it was.
Everyone watched it whenever it was on, and the people in school would sort of quote it. And so everyone knew it was a cult classic before everyone knew it was a cult classic, if that makes sense. Like now now everybody knows that
it definitely had a life. It had a life of its own,
yeah.
definitely afterwards.
So I'm looking forward to this. And
well, let's hope they're going to put some major effort into it. I know Bette Midler's getting up there, so I hope she can still pull it off.
Yeah. I mean, I love Bette Midler. I'm a huge fan. So I'm sure she can do it. She's very professional. But yeah, you're right. She is sort of like retired-ish from things.
Yeah, she is. Well, speaking of someone who's retired permanently, I couldn't not talk about the legendary Ted Turner. Ted Turner died this past May 6th. He was only 87 years old, but apparently he'd been sick for several years. He had the Lewy body dementia since 2018. That's a progressive neurological disorder. So he's been out of the public eye since 2018, but you have to give this man credit, whether you agreed with his politics or not. The mouth of the South, as one of his sayings was that people called him, he revolutionized cable TV. He
He
really
did.
he invented the concept of 24-hour news with CNN. No one was doing it before then. He was the first one, and they called him crazy, and they said it wouldn't work. And now everybody does it, right? Um, and he was smart enough to hire James Earl Jones to come be the voice of his new CNN, which is forever going to be the voice of CNN, long after James Earl Jones's death. Then he took things like TBS and TNT, which were local television stations, I believe, in the Chicago area, right? And he turned them into these multi, he took them on cable and took them out to the entire country and started doing things that no other cable channels were doing, like showing reruns in the middle of the day and showing sports nationally, games from Chicago. No one else was doing that at the time. Then he came up with the Cartoon Network. And the one thing that I think has made it possible for generations and new generations to see the classic movies that they would never see from the 90s, 40s, and 50s is Turner Classic Movies, TCM.
Yes. Thank God for
So,
that, because I'm a fan of
yeah,
those movies. I appreciate Ted Turner and his preservation of old movies.
yeah. I mean, if it wasn't for him, I don't know that I would have seen a lot of these movies. When else would I have seen All About Eve? I don't know that I would have seen it.
That's one of the best.
It is. I know it's one of your favorites.
Hmm.
So, shout out to him. He was once married to Jane Fonda, of course, very
And she did a
famously.
great tribute to him, and then publicly this past weekend. Yeah, famously married to Jane Fonda for a long. Jane Fonda stopped working when she married him. She
Yeah,
didn't work for the entire 90s. I think her big comeback movie was Monster-in-Law. But yeah, the entire 90s, she didn't do anything but just be Ted Turner's wife. Ted Turner did one thing that always kind of like confused me though. TBS always started its programs 5 minutes past the hour. Remember, 7:05 and 7:35 instead of 7.
they're
So I'm like, I'm trying to coordinate my show watch, and I'm missing the
right.
5 minutes because I'm watching
What
something
was
else.
the
He did. You know why they did that? And I'm not 100% on this, but my thinking is they did it so that you would stay on their station and not change the channel once something ended at 7 o'clock or 7:30 on the dot, because they got you to stay 5 minutes and you already missed the 5 minutes of whatever other show you were going to watch. So just stay on TBS. But it
right?
was always
It
very
was
weird. Like
it
everything
was kind
started
of
five
genius.
minutes. Yeah.
It was
So,
kind
I
of
mean, it
genius.
worked.
It did work.
I just always questioned that my entire life.
So funny. But I think they were also the ones who, and I don't know if he had anything to do with this because he was probably gone well before that, but they would show reruns of Friends and they would speed it up. They would speed it up just enough so they could get one more extra commercial in there when they
They
showed
would
it in
speed what
reruns.
up? The whole show?
Yeah, like you
Oh,
can
no.
definitely tell it's sped up. Their voices are a little higher and everything's a little faster. You have never noticed that?
No, that's terrible if they do that. I already hate that you know, the reruns cut off the opening theme and they cut off the closing theme. Like
Or
I
the
hate that. I,
credits.
I want to I want to hear the
Yeah.
whole opening theme and live my life. When Netflix
I want
or
to see
whatever
the show
channel
the
I'm
way it was
watching asks
supposed to
me,
be shown.
yeah, me too. Like when I'm watching the Murder She Wrote on streaming, it asks me if I want to skip the intro. I'm like, skip the intro? Are you freaking crazy? I'm not skipping this intro. No,
I
I
agree.
watch
I
all of the
agree.
opening
It's just like
credits.
I do skip a lot of opening credits that I don't love, but I definitely would never skip Dallas. because that's one of the most
No,
iconic songs of
because
all
you get to
time.
listen to dun, 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 dun. Sounds like you're riding a horse right to your television
Exactly.
set.
That's true.
It's like CJ and I rewatch Dynasty all the time, and we never skip the intro. Never. I will never miss my opportunity to watch all of those people, especially Joan Collins, turn around and their name pops up. I'm never gonna
You would
be too
you would
tired of that.
never not watch that.
No.
Exactly.
I mean, even
All
when I
right.
was still living in DC, I made a fake TV show intro with all my friends, like we were on Dynasty. I recorded all of us doing different things.
Did you all
Like,
do this?
yes, we did, and it's somewhere out in the universe, but it was fun.
One.
That's how crazy I am.
If you could dig that up, I would love to show it on the show. That would be really fun.
It's a bunch of friends that I still love, but I don't see them anymore. But that doesn't mean I don't love them. But they live in DC, but I'll find it somewhere. I think it's on my YouTube page that I turned everything private on my YouTube page, but I don't even do anything on there. But I'll find it. But you know, Scott, we said we were going to make this a short episode, and I'm so sorry that we did not. It's like a normal episode. But that's what happens when you have me as your co-host. I cannot
It's a normal episode, and it's 11 o'clock here on the East Coast, and I have to go to bed because I got a big day tomorrow. But it's okay. It's all good. It's in the can, and we're going to show it to the people. We're going to show it to the people. And if all goes well, I'll be back in my home studio next week with better...
yeah, like my lighting is really good. Like I've got...
Your evening
Jennifer
lighting
Coolidge
is good.
right behind me.
I like that. I like that, and I can see your pretty face. No, your light tonight is a little bit warmer than normal because it's later.
I got on earlier, so I had time to fidge with it a little bit. So zhuzh it up. Zhuzh it up.
Well, that's funny. You look great, and I look like crap. So perfect. All right, we'll see you guys next week.
See you next week. Bye. Have fun storming the castle.
The Swish Edition is a production of Bethwick Media, LLC. Learn more about the show at swishedition.com. And don't forget to subscribe and leave a review on your favorite podcast app or site. But only if you like us.
I try to keep my eyes open.
The sunglasses on.
Yeah, I should do. Oh, then you wouldn't know where I was looking. That'd be great.
What are you going to call this episode?
No, I came up with something. What was it? Well, I already did all the artwork for it. I was going to call it Plain Insanity. Plain, Plane. And I did a whole airplane theme, but I could change it. Why? What do you think it should be?
No, I just made that joke that it should be called MC Went Crazy. But what about Cross-Eyed Bears?
Cross-Eyed Bears. Cross-Eyed Bears. Yeah, that could be fun. All right, I'm going to use one of those.
Cross-Eyed Bears, and what else is on that list of mystery?
Where am I going to find a picture of Cross-Eyed Bear?
If you look up Cross-Eyed Bear, you'll find a picture because when people talk about that misheard lyric, there's a picture of a stuffed bear with cross eyes. Somewhere. Okay. And it doesn't have to be that, but I just thought that was funny.
No, that is funny. All right, I'm literally so tired that I can't hold my eyes open. All right, so all of this is going to have to happen tomorrow. Editing and stuff.
Look, do you see this?
I can't really.
I'll send it to you.